best falafels ever.
You can mix and match the pasta shape and style with whatever sauce that you want.
And I feel like their cocktails are magical elixir.
And if you want a glass of wine, go with Marcia, because she snuck hers in.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.
Redwood Credit Union offers personal and business banking, mobile access, and nationwide ATMs. It's banking for people who call this home and the future we're building together. Redwood Credit Union.
It's the transplant procedure that didn't just save one life. It saved 6. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
The Bay Area airport that's close and reliable. iFlyOAK.com.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. We have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week, Director of Engineering and mother of 2, Avanti Kethkar, regularly enjoys the delicious Southern Indian food at her spot in Burlingame. And full-time student Nick Murdoch crams for tests while indulging in Italian from his go-to Berkeley eatery. But first, biotech rep Marcia Sokoloff invites us to her welcoming West Portal neighborhood restaurant in San Francisco. Take a culinary journey through the Eastern Mediterranean at Bursa.
Okay, the name Bursa, I chose it because I want to honor the guy who helped me with everything. When I opened this restaurant, I had no experience. And there's Chef Sultan, he's Turkish from Istanbul. He helped me to open this restaurant, and that's where the name came from. We offer Turkish food, and we offer Mediterranean, Lebanese, Jordanian recipe, and all the Middle Eastern food. Hi, my name is Jihad Abu Rida, and I'm the owner of Bursa Restaurant on West Portal. I think the Middle Eastern food, the Mediterranean food in general is healthy. We use always fresh ingredients, olive oil, and not much salt or anything. Goes with the spices more than the salt. So for that, it's a healthy choice. Falafel is a tricky subject because falafel, each one, making a different recipes. And our recipe is pure with garbanzo beans and vegetables. We use no carb or anything like that. We don't put any breads. And it's fresh and delicious. When I go to Jordan, my family want me to make them some food from here, so I freeze it and take it with me to Jordan. I enjoy working, I enjoy having fun. I tried even to pass this to my employee, like, have fun, you're here. And people really pay money to throw a party in their places. I like people to experience the hospitality of the Middle East. Our culture is to feed and to host.
All right, Marcia, now you live in this neighborhood, so that's how you discovered Bursa.
Yes. So it's a great neighborhood for us. It's really convenient. Our family lives in the San Francisco area. You're able to take public transportation. Even from the East Bay, you can take BART, Muni, and there's plenty of parking on the street.
So what do you start with when you usually go?
The first thing that we start with, and it's extremely affordable and it gives you a taste of everything that they have, is the combination appetizer. And it has hadari, which is the kefir cheese with yogurt, mint, and dill, which is a great dipping sauce. And they make their fresh lavage or pita bread there, and it's warm. So it's just delicious to taste and melts in your mouth. They have falafels, and my favorite thing about their falafels is you can make falafels dry, but these falafels are crispy outside and tender inside. And you can use those falafels as well as the pita bread for the dippings. The hummus is delicious, it's very basic, and they put a bit of garlic and lemon juice. And there's the esmi, which is the red pepper dish. There's 7 or 8 of them that you can
choose from. Did you have some appetizers when you started?
I had the appetizer combo platter as well. It was so good. It got to the point, it's a huge plate, and with each one of their dips that you can try, I don't know why you would order any one individually when you can have them all.
I agree.
Because they were all so good. The esmi, I'd never had the red pepper tomato-based dip for lavash like that, but it was so incredible. And then it got to the point once we'd plowed through about half the appetizer platter that I didn't know what I was tasting anymore, but I loved it because each one was a really unique, wonderful flavor.
And what did you start with?
We
Avanti?
started with the stuffed pastry. It was like a cigar filled with
Yes.
cheese. It was so good. The pastry was crispy, and they had the cheese filling inside, and it came with their dipping sauce of yogurt, and we just kept eating it. We also got the falafel as appetizer. Best falafels ever. Like they had the cheese and the raisins inside. It was so tasty. By the end of the appetizers, we were already so full. It's really good.
So the appetizer that you're talking about
Yeah.
has feta cheese.
Yeah.
So if you love feta cheese, they have Middle Eastern feta cheese, which is so different than the feta cheese here we get in grocery stores.
Yeah, and I've never had falafels with stuffing inside. This was the first, like really good.
And what do you move to after appetizers if you've actually got any room left, right? Because Nick was saying, I don't even know if I have room.
So they're known for their kebabs, which I love, but what I have started to move to is their chicken stroganoff. Their chicken stroganoff is delicious. The chicken is moist, and they have it in this mushroom onion sauce, and it's not heavy. It's just the perfect amount. But what I've become addicted to is on the top of it, they put in pickles. So you're eating this chicken with mushroom sauce, and the pickles make it so refreshing.
Your face lights up when you talk about pickles. I've never seen somebody get so excited about pickles. Your face is lighting up.
You know, I know it might sound like a crazy combination, but like once I used to always go there for the kebabs, and they're fantastic. But
Well, and let's talk about kebabs because Bursa is named after a city in Turkey, and it's got a famed connection to kebabs. So did you have the kebabs as well?
Yes, I got the Adana kebab, which is a little unsuspecting when you first get it. It's ground meat, grilled really perfectly with perfect grill marks, and set on top of a little rice pilaf. And so it doesn't look like much, but then when you cut into it and you taste it, the flavors are really complex. It's just a little bit spicy, not too spicy, but enough to accent the meat flavors that are in there. I think it's lamb and beef in there.
it's lamb and beef. It's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
It's delicious.
Yeah, very,
Were there
very good
pickles on
savory.
it?
No, no pickles for me.
But during lunch, they serve it in a wrap, and that's what I go to. So they serve it with a wrap, with the pickles, and with their hadari sauce, and it is
That would be
delicious.
incredible.
It's,
Yeah, that
it's
would be so
incredible.
good.
What did you have after the appetizers?
Yeah, we were full, but we still wanted to try it. So I went for the moussaka, which is like a vegetarian dish.
Okay.
It was tasty. It had a tomato sauce and cheese on top. It came out steaming hot. It looked really good.
The one thing that they also have, which is fantastic, is they have the lamb ribs. They cook the lamb just right. It's more, I think, I'd say medium well. It's very simple, their food. They don't over spice things. They don't over sauce things. It's just very simple and delicious. And I think they must use really good quality products because it's just very tasty.
Right. And Nick, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I also really liked, even prior to when you order, just when you get your drinks, you get a little bread with olive oil and
Yes.
spices, and that is really incredible too. I think our waitress said that it's house-made bread, and so it's just a great way to start the meal and really get your palate going for the spices that are coming down the
And
road
what
with
did you
the
have to
entrees.
drink with that?
I'm not sure that we ended up pairing our wine very well with the spice that was coming with the meal.
Well, there's no right or wrong answer
yeah.
to pairing wine. If you like it, drink it.
Exactly. So we ended up with 2 glasses of rosé, if I'm remembering correctly.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, and so I think that they did have a pretty extensive wine list there too. So there's no lack of options when you're trying to pair.
Desserts.
Okay, so I think they're known for their baklava.
Delicious. Perfectly sweet and really flaky. We shared it, but it was really good. Yeah.
It was a nice way to end the meal.
Totally.
All right, this is your spot. Wrap it up for us, Marcia.
If you want tasty, delicious Mediterranean food, Bursa is the place to go.
All right, Avanti.
I would just go back for the falafels.
And Nick.
Great Mediterranean food in a beautifully quaint part of San Francisco.
All right, if you would like to try Bursa, it's located on West Portal Avenue in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-564-4006. It's open for lunch and dinner Wednesday through Monday. Reservations are not accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $25. Nick has been a loyal viewer of public television food programming for most of his life. He's been patiently waiting to turn 21 to fulfill his dream of being on this show, and we're excited to have him. On a student's budget, he's constantly looking for fast, affordable, quality food, and he finds it at the Italian Homemade Company.
Most of the recipes come from her grandmother.
I learned cook when I was like 7, and for me it was a kind of magic.
Basically, we come from the Roman Empire region in the north, where the Etrusci invented the piadina, that is our flatbread. So everything comes from there, especially like the hard grain products, like pretty much every kind of pasta, from dry pasta to fresh pasta.
Tortellini, lasagna, parmigiano.
A lot of sauces, you know, the curing of the meats.
I'm Gianmarco and I'm the executive chef of Italian Homemade. One of my favorite dishes also is the tortellino. Tortellino actually is shaped like a belly bun and historically made in Italy, and we made those one by one. It's the marinated pork loin for 3 days and mixed with parmigiano, prosciutto and mortadella. I think it's one of my best dishes that I had in my life, because I remember when I was young, stole tortellini from the table of my grandmother.
This is magic.
Yeah, it makes people feel like as they don't need to fly to Italy to get your high quality ingredients, real Italian cuisine.
The first real Italian fast food, but
Yes.
with high quality, good product.
Yeah.
Nick, you are a student, correct?
Yes, I am.
And thank you for wanting to be on this show.
I'm happy to be here, Leslie. It's a dream come true.
Oh, isn't
So
that
thank you
great?
for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about being on a student's budget, right?
Yes.
That you're constantly looking for really good deals.
It can be hard to find really high quality food when you're trying to spend less than $20 on a meal on a Friday night. But I think that I've found it with the Italian Homemade Company. It's a really wonderful place on College Avenue in Elmwood in Berkeley, which is a wonderful little shopping district just south of the campus. And it's a beautiful restaurant that has sort of a Italian cafe look inside of it, with different colored chairs and Italian groceries off in the back of the restaurant. And my favorite part is that you can see the pasta being made as you walk by the front window. So all of the pasta is made fresh and boiled right there and served to you hot and fresh, just made a couple hours before.
Right.
Yeah.
And pasta is certainly the focus, but there's sandwiches, there's other things,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Piadines and
Yeah, it's a pretty extensive menu. I usually go for the pasta because I love how perfectly al dente it is, and the sauces that they make are incredible too. But yeah, they have things like piadinas, which are flatbreads with cheese and meat usually, as well as salads and dessert too.
Right. But pasta, what did you have when you went, Marcia?
We had the taglieri, and what that is it's a sample of the cheese, the prosciutto, olives, and this amazing raspberry sauce.
Yeah.
Everyone there was so nice.
What was your experience, Avanti? The
It
same
was great.
attention?
Like when we walked in, the chefs were making the pasta, the
Yeah.
stuffed pasta, and it was so much fun. Like they could see everything happening there. It was a lot of fun. We had good food. We started with the flatbread. That was like a caprese flatbread. The bread was fresh. The stuffing was good as well, and it was enough for. We took the kids, so for 4 of us, it was enough to share as appetizer. It was very tasty and good. We liked it. So.
And did you move to pasta then?
We did. My younger daughter and I, we actually went for the gnocchi. We were not fans of it. We had to add some salt and pepper and some spice to it, but the rest of the dishes were pretty good. It was probably our least favorite dish from everything that we ordered, but the pasta dishes were pretty good. Like the spaghetti was good and the other pasta was good as well.
Let's talk about pasta. Here's your pasta man.
Yeah.
Let's get some
Absolutely.
expertise over here.
I love it's mix and match. So yes, it is counter service, which makes it great for if you're just trying to stop in and take it to go, or you can sit there and eat. And you can mix and match the pasta shape and style with whatever sauce that you want. So I think I've tried most of the combinations at this point. My favorite is still the bolognese, their meat sauce. It's really bold, very kind of like a red wine flavor in there too, and it's not too sweet or too acidic, so it's perfect for me. I also really like the pesto. It's a little bit different than most other pestos that I've seen. There's a lot more whole basil in it. It's chopped less finely, and so it's a little bit less saucy. I prefer that with the basil. It gives it a lot more of that basil flavor to the pasta too.
Did you have?
I had the bolognese papillere, which is the one with the large noodles. It was delicious.
Yes.
And just to clarify, it's the al dente
Yes,
one.
absolutely.
It was just delicious. There's 3 of us once again, and that's the one that we constantly like defaulted to and just couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
It would be delicious right now.
We're waiting. Are we a little hungry?
Yes.
Did your kids have a good time? This is
They
obviously
really
kid-friendly.
enjoyed it. Yeah, they walked around. They were looking at the pasta being made. They like. I mean, all kids are pasta lovers, right? So we were very excited to go there. We had a great time. Even the decor is simple. It's not pretentious. It's very casual vibe to it, and we had a great
And
time.
affordable.
And very affordable. Yeah, for 4 of us,
Yeah.
like it was really good.
Do you end with dessert usually, or?
I do. I really like their tiramisu. Very good. I was not expecting a lot because the pasta was so good. I figured there's no way that they're going to have good tiramisu dessert too, but it was really incredible. Perfect coffee flavor, not too much of the cheese mixture on top, perfect proportions for me. And they also have a selection of gelato too.
Any desserts over here?
So we did the tiramisu as well as the panna cotta. And the girl at the front, we said, tiramisu, can we try something else? And she said, oh, you've got to do the panna cotta. And we did the panna cotta caramel. You should try that next time.
Okay.
It melts. It just melted in your mouth. It was creamy with that little bit of sugar in it. It was like a delicious pudding.
Any dessert for you?
Yeah, we did the tiramisu, we did the panna cotta, but my favorite was the gelato. The gelato bar is so good. Like when I went back to ask for desserts, they said, why don't you look at the gelatos? And we tasted a few flavors, and we went with the pistachio gelato. It was really good. It reminds me of like the authentic real one from Italy. It was really good. Very, very delicious.
All right, your spot, Nick. Wrap it up for us.
Super high quality food, no better bang for your buck in the East Bay.
All right, and Avanti.
If you're in Berkeley and you like gelato, this is your place.
All right, Marcia.
Great quality food, and it's worth driving across the bridge.
If you would like to try the Italian Homemade Company, it's located on College Avenue in Berkeley. The telephone number is 510-649-1495. It's open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are not accepted, and the average meal per person without drinks is around $15. Post your favorite food shots on Instagram with the hashtag Bay Area Bites and have a chance to see your food pics on the show. Avanti's pick is a celebration of traditional coastal Indian cuisine with a contemporary twist. It's a Michelin-starred place serving dishes reminiscent of the flavors she grew up eating in India. This is Rasa.
Rasa means the essence, which is exactly the soul of what we're trying to do. So the name was very fitting. Well, my name is Ajay Walia. I'm the owner of Rasa Indian Cuisine. We're located in downtown Burlingame. What we tried to do with Rasa was we wanted to present Indian food, but in a new light. Something that can be presented well, but the taste is very familiar. So we want people to come here, enjoy the cuisine as to what we offer, but don't come here with preconceived notions of what an Indian cuisine is going to look like, because it may not satisfy that need that you're looking for. Because since we are based in California, we had to make the most of the California touch. So we definitely, tried to feature things like wild mushrooms, berries, techniques, and the produce that's abundantly available in California. So it's shown within our menu. So it's like basil chutney dosa, wild mushroom uttapam. These are not things typically you would find on an Indian cuisine menu, or would see even in India, because again, this kind of produce wasn't available. That's definitely a California touch. Our goal is to make sure that you leave happy from here, that you're able to enjoy, because it's the sights may not be familiar, but the taste will be.
Check, please. Avanti, let's talk a little bit about the cuisine style from Rasa, because it really focuses on the coastal southern Indian cuisine, doesn't it?
Absolutely. India is so diverse, so every state almost has a different cuisine. This particular restaurant is focused on the South Indian cuisine. It's just a different take on South Indian cuisine.
Right. And when you go, what do you get?
So my all-time favorite is this idli chaat, which is like an appetizer. So chaat is actually an Indian street food. So it's their own take on that, I think. And it's little tiny idlis, which is like fried lentil balls. And they come with two types of sauces. There is tamarind and there is a green one, which is made from mint and coconut. And it's like all served together with some crispy bundi on top, which is like another type of Indian snack. The whole thing is just very well balanced. It wakes up all your palate and it's really delicious.
I also had the crispy idli chaat for the appetizer. It was really incredible. Very light, not too much before you get to your entrees, but really tasty. I loved the mint green sauce that went with it too. Really wonderful.
And what did you have, Marcia?
So we started off with the cocktails, and I feel like their cocktails are magical elixirs.
Right.
I highly...
They're pretty unique, aren't they?
They are extremely unique. Like the Maharani, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Everybody should try the Maharani. It's just like a chemical experiment that they bring to your table. And the other thing is that it's probably one of the best cocktail menus I've ever seen in the Bay Area.
Absolutely.
It was
And did you
delicious.
start with the cocktail, Nick?
Yes, we got a round of cocktails for our table. My favorite was the Duhan, I believe is what it's called.
Yes.
It has some sort of pepper spice on top that adds this spicy heat element in addition to the alcohol.
And there's mezcal and I think Lagavulin,
yes.
which is a scotch.
Yes, very, very good. One of the best cocktails I've had.
Yes.
And then what was your next dish?
We had the chaat too, and it was delicious, but we also had the Bombay sliders. And once again, there were 4 of us. There were 2 of them. We were able to split them. They were the perfect amount. The presentation was beautiful and very tasty, very interesting spices that I've never tried before. And it also had the dipping sauce. So they had a very spicy dipping sauce as well as the green mint dipping sauce. So it was delicious.
So what do you get after the appetizers?
So because I'm a vegetarian, I have a little bit of limited choices. I usually go with their mushroom uttapam. It's a little tiny one. It's a little smaller than the rest of the entrees, but it comes with a top layer of mushrooms, and it has a little bit of hint of truffle oil, and it's really good. I think that's the twist that they have on the traditional Indian cuisine, and it's really good.
And what was next for you, Nick?
I had the chicken antara curry, which was really incredible. A little bit less pretty than a lot of the other entrees, because it was more of just chicken and rice in a bowl is what it looked like at first, but the flavors were really complex, and the chicken was perfectly tender. Really, really just like buttery, soft chicken.
Was this an elevated experience for you in terms of the decor and the...
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely a fancier place than I'm used to going to on my college budget. And it definitely is a bit pricey. Not quite for every college student, I would think, price-wise. But the food is really incredible, and we were seated next to the bar, and so we got to see them make all the cocktails. The ambiance was really incredible. It's a very sleek, modern restaurant.
What else did you have?
We decided to try the goat, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's between a chicken and maybe a meat stew, and once again, there's a masala sauce in there, and it was just delicious. It went, down very well, and it had rice on the side, so we thoroughly enjoyed it.
And what do you eat for mains as well?
So one of the other things my husband had was the fish. It's like a Travancore fish moili, which is a way of preparation in southern India, and he swears by it. He's like his favorite whenever we go. He really loves it.
Is this a restaurant you take your kids to as well?
We do sometimes, but then because it's pricey.
If they're well behaved?
Yeah. And we came to a point where it started to become our regular restaurant, and then we were like, oh, we can't do that. Like, it's pricey. We can't make it our every Friday night restaurant. So we did go there a few times. Now we're trying to scale back a little bit.
What about room for dessert?
Not for me. I was 2 steps again. The portions that they give you, even though everything is really beautifully plated, I was definitely full by the end of the meal.
Yeah.
I agree with you, because I was under the assumption, because of the Michelin star restaurant, that the portions would be smaller. I felt like the portions were beautifully done, but at the same time, it was so filling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So their dessert menu is actually pretty extensive. Every time we go, 1 or 2 desserts are switched out, like they keep changing their menu. The one we are a fan of is a bread pudding, but it's an Indian twist on bread pudding. So they creme brulee really beautifully on top, but the flavor is really actually cardamom. And so it's like a cardamom flavored bread pudding, if you will, and it's really tasty. It's really perfect balance of sweet and that crunch on top. It's really good.
All right, your spot, Avanti, give us a quick summary.
If you have a special occasion coming up and want to celebrate with some delicious food, this is your place.
Okay.
Tasty Indian food with great cocktails.
And Nick?
Great cocktails, great food, a lot of bang, but also a lot of buck.
All right, if you would like to try Rasa, it's located on Park Road in Burlingame. The telephone number is 650-340-7272. It's open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $50. I want to thank my guests on this week's show. Marcia Sokoloff, who invited us to her favorite neighborhood spot in San Francisco for mouth-watering Mediterranean offerings at Bursa. Nick Murdoch, who discovered affordable Italian fare at his pick in Berkeley, the Italian Homemade Company. And Avanti Kethkar, who shared an exceptional eatery that marries modern techniques with traditional Indian cuisine at Rasa in Burlingame. We really want to hear about your experiences at any of the restaurants we've been talking about. So keep in touch with us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Or better yet, post your favorite food shots on Instagram with the hashtag Bay Area Bites and have a chance to see your food pics on the show. And don't forget that you can watch any of the shows on our website at kqed.org/checkplease. It's where you'll find links to the restaurants and where you'll find my notes on the wines and libations we're drinking today. So join us next time when 3 more guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by the Bay Area Airport that's close and reliable. iFlyOAK.com.
It's the transplant procedure that didn't just save one life. It saved 6. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
Redwood Credit Union offers personal and business banking, mobile access, and nationwide ATMs. It's banking for people who call this home and the future we're building together. Redwood Credit Union.
Cooking is the first kind of love you know. It was starting when I was a child, with my grandmother doing fresh pasta, and now I transmit it to all the guests. It's something made specially for them.
Oceana Cruises, proud sponsor of Check Please Bay Area.
Total Wine & More offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.
Indian touch to the desserts. So we were thinking, it's like, what do we create? So cardamom brulee, which is, it's like, essentially a bread pudding, was a nice way to feature it.
My favorite dish is the lasagna, because actually it's very, very additional how we made the lasagna.
Experience the hospitality of the Middle East. That's something I grew up with my grandpa, where he used to borrow money to invite somebody. Our culture is to feed.